Hello again, and today we're back with another video on 50 Cent and Eminem, and this is happening right now because of the promotion 50 Cent is doing for the last season of Power. I like to mention that, so at least in my own way, I pass 50 Cent's message across, as this is why we've been hearing from him a lot lately, and he's dropped some Eminem goodies for us. So check out the final season of Power if you can. 50, in another recent interview, talked about his relationship with Eminem, and we get to see Eminem from different angles, his interactions with the people closer to him than the fans. Now there's something I'll be putting together that I'll be taking from this in a minute, and you'll see how it is all connected, so stick around to the latter part of this video for the revelation. And now let's start with 50 Cent's comments in the recent interview. So sitting with Big Boy TV, when asked about his relationship with Eminem, 50 Cent stated that he loves M, and I'll quote, "Eminem gave me opportunity, we could have went on tour, me, M, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, you don't believe how much money we would have made." Of course, this would have been great, especially if they also intended to tour outside the United States, and I know, for instance, fans in Europe, Asia and Africa will give anything to see these guys on stage together. Now the reason that it didn't happen was that Eminem made the decision to turn down what could have resulted in $100 million in their pockets because of his parental duties. Quickly, before we continue, remember to smash the like button. The likes are free. Subscribe if you're new to the channel and turn on notifications. 50 Cent stated, and I quote, "But M was like, there was so many dates at the time that we laid it out, and he was like, I just don't want to go on tour and come back and Haley's grown. It was ridiculous amount of dates, and when asked about how much they could have made, 50 replied, the tour could have made $100 million easily." And the interviewer wondered why they got 50 Cent to try to get Eminem to approve the tour, and this is when 50 Cent explained the relationship they have in this dynasty. 50 Cent explained that they brought it to him to get Eminem to do it because Dre is to Eminem what Eminem is to 50 Cent, and he added that if they wanted Dre to do it, that they'll probably send Eminem, and in this case, since they wanted Eminem to do it, they sent him to pitch the idea to Eminem. They also talked about how Haley's grown now, and if Eminem's bars on Fall are any indication, then the fans are not ready for what's probably coming from Eminem later this year and in the next few years. I'm sure you're probably wondering what bars in Fall I'm talking about, so here.
Against the clock I race, got no time to waste, I'm already late, I got a marathoner's pace, went from addict to a workaholic.
So now that his daughters are grown, the workaholic M is on the music grind, and all we've heard recently is that he's working. Earlier I talked about something I'll put together from this interview, so let's get to that. Recently I did a video on Akon's comments about working with Eminem, and if you missed that video, click the link that pops up at the top right corner now. And based on 50's latest comments about Eminem turning down a potential $100 million that would have been made on tour, this can give you an idea of how many things Eminem turned down worth millions because of his family. For one, Eminem wasn't joking when he said goodbye Hollywood, and he wasn't just talking about drama in his life. He's turned down roles that would have netted him millions of dollars like Elysium, Southpaw, Fast and Furious and more, and these are the ones we are aware of that came to light. So in previous videos I've seen people ask the question, why is Eminem not worth more than he currently has? At the moment, I believe he's worth $200 million, and some fans interested in this sort of thing wonder why he doesn't have more despite being the top-selling artist globally in this century. But with how much priority he puts on family, now you have your answer. We know that Eminem would rather not get involved in business and would prefer to just focus on music, and I recall in The Defiant Ones, when Dre first told Eminem about the headphones Beats by Dre, Eminem wasn't a fan of it. We also know how he makes time for his family based on what Akon said about Eminem's work ethics when they worked together on Smack That, and now we also know that he's turned down tours that would have netted $100 million. He's already made more money than he thought possible, and when he wrote songs like Rock Bottom, all he wanted was to provide his family with the comforts made possible by financial security, and now he's gone overboard since he's gotten much more than he asked for. So from his perspective, why push it when you already have more than enough? Stretching himself thin, touring in the early years, and also working on the movie 8 Mile was what pushed him down the path of addiction, especially when he was working on 8 Mile, so he chose to take a step back, spend time with the family, and now since they are grown, we can expect that Eminem will be back to his active days. No more 4 years between solo projects like MMLP2 and Revival. And for those who wonder why Eminem's net worth is not higher, I believe I've answered your question. So what are your thoughts on this? The fact that Eminem turned down millions to spend time with family, and also 50's description of their relationship. Tell us below, like and subscribe if you haven't, and see you on the next one.